Coming up on the bottom line, we asked Jonathan Strickland if video phones will ever take off.
Save time and money by skipping business trips and using GoToMeeting. Visit gotomeeting.com/techpodcast and get 30 days for free.
Everything seems to have a camera these days, from netbooks to the new wave of Skype TVs. You are being watched, well, if you want to be. Jonathan, do you think that video conferencing will ever be something that everyone will use?
I'm kind of curious about this. I'm a little bit on the fence. Mostly, I think video conferencing, I think it's a little too late for it. And the reason why I think that is because so many people are no longer even using voice calling anymore. They've all gone to text messaging and instant messaging and status updates, things like that. You hear about the numbers of texting going way up while voice calls start to decline. Now, maybe video is going to bring enough of a gimmick in there for people to use it regularly. I can see it being something where if you're going to call the grandparents and they want to see the grandkids, that I can see that sort of use. I just don't know that people are going to be using it that frequently. I think it's going to be, once in a while you use video conferencing or a video call, and most of the time you're just not going to bother with it.
Yeah, along the lines of what you were saying, a while ago, text messaging did beat out phone calls as a form of communication. That's what people are using. They're not bothering to actually talk to each other. I mean, just because we can make video calls doesn't seem like people want to. I mean, other than the grandparent idea, do you think there's any other great application for video calling? Not video conferencing necessarily, because I could see that being great for students, and it can be great for business applications. But for the everyday person, is there a great application for this?
I can think of a couple of applications that I probably would have appreciated back when back when I was dating my wife. It was a long distance relationship, and so we only saw each other maybe once or twice a month because she was living so far away. Video conferencing at that, or video calling at that point, would have been a great way of just being able to stay in touch in a way that was a little more personal than just calling on the phone or emailing back and forth, that sort of thing. But even then, it's, you think about the other elements that come in with video calls. It means that you have to have a location where you're going to be calling from, which preferably you're going to keep clean, because otherwise, you've got this cluttered mess in the background. It means that you have to, you have to dress up and look pretty for a phone call. It's a lot more work going into it than just picking up the phone, giving a quick call, saying, "Hey, did you want to do something tomorrow night?" So again, I think there are situations where it would be a useful service, but I don't think it's ever going to really become the main method of communication. So for things like televisions that are coming with the Skype enabled and the webcams included, I don't know that that's going to be the killer app that sells these TVs. It might be one of those things that people look at kind of like 3D. They'll look at it and say, well, it also has this, so I'll pick up this TV rather than this other one. But I don't think there are a lot of people out there saying, you know what I need? A television that'll let me make phone calls.
So what device do you think will actually make people want to chat via video? I mean, you think Skype TVs won't sell it on the fact that it does Skype? But is it like a cell phone with a front-facing camera? Is it some kind of booth company that has a fake green screen background like I have right now, so you can have a clean office all the time? What's the device that will actually make this as prevalent as the old phone?
That's a good question. I'm not sure that there is a device that's going to ever boost it to that level. I mean, we're moving further and further away from the whole face-to-face interaction idea anyway. Now just 140 characters at a time seems to be plenty. I think it's possible for that maybe the youngest generation, the kids who are growing up with this technology right now, they're the ones who are going to really determine whether or not this stuff takes off. If they embrace video calls as a way for them to be in touch with each other, then I don't see any problem with it at all. The industry will explode. And I'm notoriously terrible at predicting what kids are going to do. So I think if they embrace it, it won't matter what it's in, whether it's in the consoles, whether it's in the television, whether it's a computer thing or a phone thing. They'll be the ones to really determine whether this takes off as a success.
And now for a super deep question for you, Mr. Strickland. Shouldn't people actually just meet each other in real life instead? Low latency, no bugginess, no drop calls, just like kind of face-to-face IRL meetings. What do you think?
I definitely think that we've kind of lost a bit of the charm of meeting in person, and there are certain experiences I think used to be really, really great and really special that have kind of suffered in over the last few years. A good example would be going out to see a movie at a movie theater.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that used to be something where you'd go with friends and you would enjoy the experience, and afterwards you talk about it. Now it seems to be the experience where you go and you listen to people talk while the movie's going on. It just doesn't seem as special as it used to be. And I think a lot of that is because we've kind of distanced ourselves and used this other form of communication with each other. We kind of don't think of it as, a communal experience. But that being said, I will get in a fight with anyone who tries to grab my smartphone away from me. I am happy to be able to interact with my friends over text and instant messaging. And if I were reduced to having to do face-to-face contact with everyone, I'd probably always have a bloody nose.
So you're saying that it's the downfall of society, can't go to movie theaters anymore, we need video cameras in the theaters to watch the movies while we're sitting at home, theoretically, while texting and tweeting each other quietly.
That is the utopia that I dream of.
I think we're out of time. Our thanks to Jonathan Strickland from HowStuffWorks.com. I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and thank you for watching.